We're just gonna do it anyway. So, just as long as you get the words started coming out of your mouth, that's all you really need to do. So, I think that maybe just ignoring the fact that this thing is here, recording everything, I think what you should do is just do your best to, I don't know, stay focused. Try to have a conversation with me. I'm feeling a little bit strange today. How so? How do I put it? I'm just a little bit confused. I'm a little bit worn down. I feel like there's a lot that's trying to pull me down. They make me feel bad. Why? Well, how do I put it? It's kind of like sometimes you gotta get like pulled back down to earth, you know? Kind of like you gotta keep balanced. Can't eat peanut butter and jelly every single day. But expect to enjoy it on the last day as much as you did on the first day. Things have just been going really well. But to counterbalance it, I'm the only one who can see it. I can sense like judging eyes on me, which is what makes it difficult because all of these thoughts start coming to my mind. And all these thoughts are coming to my mind that make me want to feel like you're seeing it. I feel like to say it, I feel like I'm being tricked. But I know I'm not being tricked because that would imply that everybody knows something that I don't. Not to mention that just seeing as much as I do, it's hard to fathom, it's hard to accept that there seems to be two different realities playing out in my head. There's the one that everyone else lives in, then there's the one that I live in, but they're the same reality. Like, I feel like everybody knows something that I don't, but at the same time, I feel like I know something that everybody else doesn't. And it's this like internal conflict that it's frustrating to me because I know I'm right. And I believe that that's Clark. I know that it's not a question anymore for me. I know what's real and what isn't real. And I'm a little bit scared because of the fact that I know what I know. Because of the fact that I know that things aren't going to stay the same forever. That's not bad. It's a good thing. It's a scary thing. And I think now that we're talking about it, I think what's kind of like freaking me out is the fact that I don't know. I don't know how things are going to look in a few weeks, a few months. I know that even right now, just 2 weeks ago, things didn't look the way they do right now. And 2 weeks ago, I had no money, 27 cents. I keep bringing it back to that. But that the importance of what just happened, and maybe that's it too. You know when you go through a traumatic experience, and I don't mean traumatic in a bad way either. Like just something that like, oh fuck, there's no going back after this. This is the I just saw some shit that I can't unsee. And it's like I have to come to grips with it. I suppose, like a good example is back in 2014 when I had to take that car. God. Why don't you tell everybody about that? It's the night of my friend's bachelor party. We went out, we had a really good time. Drank a lot. I mean, perfectly honest, if I wasn't drinking, I wouldn't have believed it. But then again, if I wasn't drinking, I wouldn't have been put in this situation. I haven't thought about this in so fucking long. I don't like talking about this. Fuck. we went to a bar, and I ended up getting kicked out. I smashed my phone. I was a belligerent drunk. And I ended up getting separated from my friends. I missed the party bus going back home. And just something told me to take a taxi home. There was a taxi that showed up, and just, I don't know, instead of waiting for everybody to come out of the bar, I took the taxi. I got kicked out of the bar for smoking at the bar because I was so drunk. I said, fuck it, I'm going to smoke right here. Because I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. And as soon as I lit the cigarette up, the fuck out of here. Somehow I snuck back in, got kicked back out. And no matter what I did, I couldn't find everybody. So I went to the gay club because I knew that's where the bride was having her bachelorette party, which was right across the street. It was a dual party. And I met up with them. And I got back. And I lost everyone again. Because I went with the girls back to the bar where all the guys were at. But I took the taxi, and I was going to pay like the $100 to get home. But I said something that pissed the guy off, and he kicked me out of the cab. And that's when I started walking home. It was going to take me hours to get home. And then I saw these Mexican guys bringing sound equipment into a bar, so I started helping them move the sound equipment into the bar because I thought to myself, I'm doing them a favor, so I'll be able to find a place to stay tonight. So we got in there and I was asking the guys if I could use their phone to call my wife, and nobody would give me the phone. So I cursed them off and I left. And I walked. I walked for like 2 hours. It was cold. It was the day before the Super Bowl. It was slushy out. It was... But eventually I came up to this town and a bridge that I had to walk over. But I looked over and there was a condo complex, and I saw a car way off, and the headlights were on. And then the voice came through. It said that God left the car there for me. What's up, man? God left the cars for you to get home. And I walked over to the car and there was nobody around. It's probably about like 4 o'clock in the morning at this point. So I called out. I was like, hey, anybody around? I need a ride home. Hello? And something told me, you gotta take the car. So I looked around. I kept on calling out for anybody. Nobody came. So I checked, and the doors were open. I checked the back seat, make sure there was no kids in there. And I hopped in the driver's seat and said, hey, I'm taking the car. I gotta get home. And I took it. And then it dawned on me, like, I'm still in the car. What the fuck? What the fuck? And I floored it. I drove all the way home. And I'm thinking in my head, what am I gonna do with this fucking thing? And the plan was just to kind of leave it down the street from my place with the keys in it. But when I was getting closer to my house, I drove past a Wawa and I saw a cop, and I panicked. I mean, granted, he turned the other way. He wasn't coming my way, but still, my adrenaline fucking hit, and I floored it. Because it was dark out and it was slushy out, I misjudged the turn. And I slammed on the brakes so I can turn down my street. And because of the slush, I slid. I was going 60 miles an hour, but I know, well, when I hit the brakes, I looked at the speedometer and I saw it had dropped down to 45, but I kept on sliding. I slid right into a fucking tree. Not a big tree, a small tree. And head first, airbag deployed, smashed me in the face. And I was just fucking crumbled there. And I tried getting out of the car, but the doors were locked. And I started panicking, tried kicking out the windows. My hand was bleeding. My face hurt. And then once I took a second, I just like, fuck it. I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. Then it dawned on me, check the doors. Maybe you just need to unlock the doors. And there we go. I hit the unlock button and the doors opened up. And I opened up the door and I fucking fell out of the car. Because the car was up at an angle. And I just fucking collapsed out of it. I walked. I had to walk through the fucking woods because I tried to avoid the main street of the complex because just in case. My fear was that somebody was going to drive by and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where my wallet was. Or maybe I did. I didn't know where my phone was. I was fucking just afraid of what I just did. And I couldn't walk. My ankle was twisted. I made it home. Months later, I don't know, it's just, it wasn't lying. Like I couldn't do anything about it. Like what was done was done. But at the same time, there was that voice in my head going, don't worry about it. Everything's all right. But I stuffed it down and I spent the next few months just afraid. Every time I saw a cop drive by, I thought they were coming for me. It took me a long time. Like when I think about it now, like Hashem literally had this person put their car on to wait for me so I could make it home. I told my wife I didn't want to go anywhere. I wanted to stay in and watch the football game from the house. I'm not a Super Bowl fan. I'm not a football fan at all, but my son wanted to watch it. I wanted to avoid her family, my father. And the next day we went to ShopRite to go pick up some treats. And then my father showed up. Like, my face is all fucking cut up. I'm walking with a limp. I'm all fucked up. And he asked me what happened. And I lied. I told him that I got so drunk that I fell off a curb and face planted into the street. He didn't believe me. And then he and we went outside to go smoke a cigarette while my wife and my son were still shopping. And then her parents showed up. What happened to you? Like that. Like an experience like that. Like, there's no going back. There's no like, yeah, that didn't happen. That happened. And it happened exactly the way that I heard it happen in my head. It's just that God left the car there for me. Why though? So that I can experience that fear, the paranoia. It's so traumatic. But I got to see a side of myself that I never did that before. I mean, I've done breaking and enterings before. I've stolen things out of cars. I remember that. Remember, I went to a diner to meet my friends, and there was a car that I pulled up next to, and it happened to have a parking pass for the college I was going to, community college. But because of the fact that I was new, I wasn't eligible to get a parking pass. So I stole the parking pass out of that car. It was like that time that I did a favor for my friend. I just gave his son a ride to work. And in exchange, his son gave me a handicapped parking tag, which came in handy a lot, especially for my wife, because the handicapped people, they get the best parking spots. So we would trade off who got to use the parking pass, because we would always park in the handicapped parking spots because of it. That was one of my favorite things, is having that parking pass. I love that parking pass. No, I don't feel bad about it. Why would I feel bad about it? I earned it. I don't feel bad about any of those things. No, I'm actually like fucking proud about that stuff. But that's not the point. I guess the point is, like, my life has always been filled with these experiences, these rewards. It's like, what the hell does this happen to? I remember my cousin Jason, the day of the bachelor party, I went out to smoke a cigarette and I saw this big mountain of a man the next building over, kind of just sitting there. And I'm like, wait, is that cousin Jason? What the hell is he doing here? And I called out to him, he didn't answer, so I just ignored it. And then maybe a week later, I said something to my father, And he goes, yeah, no, he lives in the same place you do. What? He literally lives right across the street from me. And my cousin and I, we'd always been semi-close. We'd bump into each other throughout the years. But his parents and my dad, they kind of detached from each other for a while, and we grew apart. But like I said, we would bump into each other once in a while, but then he moved in right across the street from me. I actually saw him die. But before he died, like, we'd actually become like best friends. My friend who had the bachelor party knew my cousin because they were on a softball team together. He didn't know that he was my cousin, and we had this really cool friendship going on for a while. But then he died. About a year after my father. And that was when I started to hear him. After my father died, I heard my father a few times. He would pop up into my mind, say things just at the right time. Like sort of cousin Jason. But I would hear him like I would hear him when he was alive. And I didn't know what to make of it. And I decided, you know, what the fuck do I know at this point? Who the hell knows what's going on anymore? And then the following year is when I finally just like snapped, and I had this experience where it was just like, all right, dude, I have to just like embrace this shit. I have to embrace what's going on right now, because this doesn't make any sense anymore, man. Because either I'm going crazy, or I really am what I've been fantasizing about my entire life. And like over these years, just more things just keep on happening. Like synchronistic things just keep on happening. Just unexplainable, supernatural experiences that are just like, what am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this? And at the time, like, it just seemed like things that just needed to be, like, suppressed and stuffed down and just kept to myself. But as I progressed in my own life journey, I guess it's like they say, like, it's not always about seeing is believing. Sometimes you have to believe in order to see it. And, like, I believe it, but there's still a part of me that's struggling with it. Well, obviously, like, I'm supernatural. There are supernatural things happening in my life that I can't deny. But it almost feels like I have to keep them to myself because nobody's going to believe it. And then the doubt of other people then infects my mind, but I have this thing where I can't keep my mouth shut about stuff. I have to talk about it. For that reason. Because people say, like, you don't tell people what you're doing and what you're working on. Don't tell people about your projects, because once you start telling people what you're doing, their energy is then going to fuck with yours, and it's going to ruin all your plans. But at the same time, I look at it a different way, that if what I'm experiencing isn't really happening, then it doesn't matter. Because if I tell people about it, then, yeah, it's going to make me question myself. But that's a good thing. Am I really experiencing these things? Listen, you've kept it quiet long enough that there's no way that it can be doubted anymore. And people aren't going to believe it. So be it. It's like that video said about the Antichrist. The more that people deny the power of Satan, the stronger that the Antichrist becomes. And if you want to become the Antichrist, then you better start shouting it from the fucking rooftops exactly what's happening to you, because this shit, people don't want to believe this stuff. Or they can't believe it, because they can't see it. And if they can't believe it, then that's going to cast doubt on you. But the more that people doubt you, the more sure of yourself that you become, because you already know that people are going to do exactly what they're going to do. God's talking to me. God's talking through me. God talks to me through everybody, especially the people that doubt me. God talks through me, and Satan talks through everyone else. Because they're a tag team duo, the dynamic duo, the gruesome twosome. God and Satan, tag team partners. And that's the thing, is because come on. I got these people saying that God is bad, or Satan is bad, God is good. These people say there's no such thing as God, and there's no such thing as Satan, which is exactly what Satan would say. I don't understand that. Like, where's the proof of God? You are literally the proof of God. Why? Because you're preaching the words of Satan. I don't believe in Satan. You don't have to. That's the point. That's the point. The more that you deny Satan, the stronger that he becomes. And the stronger that Satan becomes, the weaker that God gets. We're balancing things out. But the dichotomy of it is, I recognize the power of both because they're both the same guy. Entity. But then I hear the people that go, oh, Satan's bad, you gotta fight Satan. No, you don't. You don't. Stop being a dickhead. The enemy. Jesus said, the Jesus people, the enemy is after you. The enemy is your best friend. Jesus Christ said it. Love your enemies like you love yourself. If you can't forgive Satan, if you can't love Satan, then what are you doing? You're blinded by your own light. Like Jesus said it himself, the God of the Jews is Satan. Satan is God. God. Why am I getting so frustrated? Because I don't know, because I got all this shit going through my head. I need to talk about it somewhere. And there ain't no fucking buddy I can talk to this stuff about. That's why I talk to myself about it. Then why are you recording it? Because this is the type of shit that needs to be documented. Because this is a reminder. Oh, yeah, bud, this happened. Just like with all my fucking journals. Like I can't deny what I see in my journals. But I've been doing it for so long that like, oh hey, what'd you do today? What did I do today? I was reading the Tanakh, learning about King David and his son Absalom. And I'm ruminating over the relationship between Satan and God and Hashem, while also reconciling my past to see how God has been active in my life. God and Satan have been active in my life my entire life. Each one, and it's not even like they're fighting over me. No, that's what it feels like. They're fighting over me. They're fighting this useless tug of war because, one, guys, listen, let me put it to you straight. Neither one of you can have me. It don't work like that. I got this one pulling over here. I got this one pulling on this side. And it's not even like, you know, it's not even like it's a tug of war fight. It's more like they're keeping me balanced. Like, you need this one to balance out this one, but you also need this one to balance out that one. And recognizing that they're both there, both working for me, because realistically that's what they're doing. They got all these like fucking chumps out there that are like, the fight between the dark side and the light side. No, they're not fighting. Nobody's fighting. There's no fighting. There's no fighting. There's no battle. The war's over. It's not unlike the Clone Wars. You got the Republic going against the Separatists. Meanwhile, the fight between the Republic and the Separatists, it wasn't even about that. Both sides lost. Palpatine was the winner. The dark side won. It wasn't this way or that way. And the same thing goes with God and Satan. The fight is over. Everybody, they put up the white flag. All right, everybody, listen, why don't we try working together? Obviously, thousands of years of fighting is not bringing us to a fucking solution. So maybe we work together. Maybe it's not unlike what Einstein said. You keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. It's called insanity. So why don't we take the sane route and go, okay, let's stop. Everybody lay down your arms. You have the left half of them, I'll take the right half of them. We'll split them up. Deal. Fine, I'm fine with that. And that's the tough part. That's the tough part in all this too, is like, oh, you worship Satan? I don't worship anybody. Thank you, Satan. Thank you, Hashem. They're my partners. That's a trick from the devil. Then what the hell is God saying? Don't listen to the outside voices, listen to the inside voice. What does the inside voice tell you? The inside voice is telling me that God and Satan have teamed up and using me as a vessel to do what nobody else can do, which is unite the two polarities. Thank you. You're welcome. I appreciate you both. God and Satan, Toxic and Derek. Or Mr. Demon and Mr. Toxic. Miss Hellfire, Miss Kitty. Derek. Toxic. Meanwhile, back in the real world, Derek, when are you going to get a job? Well, I have one right now. I've had one for the past 3 years. I started a legal entity so that I can encapsulate everything I'm doing into one thing called work. And I hired myself to run the company, develop the company, manage the finances, manage my life, manage my religion, develop my life. You know, how about this? How about you guys go get more jobs? Why don't you guys do as much work as I'm doing? You don't like what you're doing? Stop doing it. You can come work for me. Instead of making other people money, how about you start making me some money? I'll just take a cut. I got my chauffeur, I got my weed guy, and I got my masseuse. Boom, done. Easy. We've completely lost you, haven't we? No. No, you actually, you got something so much more. You should literally be thanking God and Satan. Satan. Let's stop with the Satan thing and the God thing. Hashem and Lilith. Lucifer, Diana. Nothing you can do. I know everybody's trying to live their best lives, but so am I. I'm living my best life through my worst life. I don't understand. It's not like, and you know, it's like I don't have anyone to confide in because I don't trust anybody, and God doesn't trust anybody. Satan doesn't trust anybody. It's like I can't even when I try to speak, it's like I get clamped up, can't talk. And then after the exchange is over, then I start thinking like, oh wait, why didn't you just say that? Why didn't you say this? What's that? That's me like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking about this. Derek, what'd you do today? Therapy. Divine therapy. Shit. What is that? Neural pathways forming in my brain. Looks like you're having an aneurysm. It feels like I'm having a fucking aneurysm. When I was younger, I used to take a lot of acid. And I used to say all the time, like, or when I would take the acid, I would say to my friends, like, I feel like I got a twitch. Huh? A twitch. Yeah, I can't get it out. Ugh. It's just, it's energy that's got to come out, and it, hello? It comes out best like that. No, but that's typically what happens. Like, when I make a connection in my head that's new, I can feel it. It's like, ah, shit. It's like my nervous system. It's like my nervous system is restructuring itself. Well, sometimes it's like you know how sometimes people just need to talk. I just need to talk to get it out. I need someone to talk to, right? Thanks for listening. It's like that. sometimes it's difficult to say things. I mean, it's not always easy to talk, but it's not always easy to talk to myself, let alone talk to this. Because you gotta keep in mind also, like I'm talking here about things that I don't normally talk about in everyday life. Like I write about it and I think about it, but I don't always talk about it. That's a whole different story. Ugh. Oh, I can't believe I'm talking about this. These are traumatic things. This isn't like just like, oh, hey, how you doing? Hey, it's a nice day out. No, fucking bearing my soul to my soul. Like I mean, I know I got music playing, but I can still hear the words that are coming out of my house, out of my mouth, and out of my house. It's not entirely wrong. But I'm also processing what I'm saying at the same time that I'm hearing it. My spirit, my soul, God and Satan, they're also listening, and they're also adding in their 2 cents inside my head while this is all going on. So there's a lot of stuff happening all at once. You can't see it. I look cool as a cucumber, with the exception of I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm not making fun of anybody. It's just, that's how it comes out. It's like, ah. Well, because the more that you talk about something, the more that you take power away from it. Because why don't I talk about these things with people? Because I'm afraid. But the more that I talk about it, the less fearful I am of it, and the more easy that the conversation comes. Even though that when talking to other people, it's not like I go, oh, hey, everybody, check this out. It's more that people will come to me, ask me a question, catch me off guard, and I'm like, huh? I mean, I will talk about it, like, being a witch, that's something I talk about. I'm not entirely afraid of that. How can you be a witch and follow God? God and Satan both guide me. I listen to both. I listen to demons and I listen to angels. Sometimes I even add that the angels and demons, they're on the same page with things. It's not like it's not like they really do, unless angels are disguising themselves as demons because they know that I'll listen more. Like last night I was watching something and this girl was talking about how, it was a YouTube reading, and this girl was talking about, the angels are surrounding you, they're protecting you. And in my mind, I'm going, they're not angels, baby doll. I got demons around me. You gotta follow Christ, the Lord Christ. I mean, what you need to do is just consider what he said. You don't have to suck his dick. He's okay with that. As long as you're following, how do you say it? As long as you're just kind of following the principles. Don't sell yourself short for the sake of somebody else. Or even money. True to yourself. No, it's some ancestry stuff. Well, I'm still trying to understand it myself. I don't fully get everything. I don't fully understand it. I mean, putting together bits and pieces. Usually and that's what that is my inside self is connecting dots that help build neural pathways, building a neural web. This doesn't always happen. I mean, it does. It depends. Keep in mind, like, I do this all day, every day. And I'm always filling my mind up with information. So I have to take these breaks from time to time so I can get it out. Like right now, what I'm dealing with is I've been guided to the Tanakh because I'm being shown how I am linked to the line of David, which is a difficult thing to come to grips with. I mean, of course, there's parts of me that wants to deny that and just go like, what? That doesn't even make any sense. He's a fictional character. Not necessarily. If you consider that the Tanakh, like someone had posted something in an atheist group I'm in yesterday. I wonder how Christians feel about the fact that King James wrote a book on witchcraft in the 1600s, blah, 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 blah. So I responded to him, I was like, well, so you got some shit to say to them, but what do you got to say to the Jews? Because that book you're talking about is their history book, so what do you got to say about that? Nothing. Ain't nobody got nothing to say to the Jews. Yeah, exactly. So maybe it's best to keep your mouth shut at all times. You talk shit on the Christians, but you ain't got shit to say to the Jews. Remember one day there was a post. Who do you like more, the Christians or the Muslims? Neither. Hey, why don't you say anything about the Jews? Why don't you throw the Jews in there? Well, because I didn't. Yeah, why? I'm not asking, obviously you didn't, but I'm asking you why you didn't put the Jews in there. Well, I don't know any Jews. Alright. Because you're afraid. You're afraid of the Jews. Because you don't know anything about them. Because you know what? The Jews are the ones who can actually prove to you that it's real. But you're not invited to the club because you're a bunch of fucking assholes. They see how you act. They look at you and just go, what is with these people? I was watching this class, Building Trust with God. It's a class for Jewish people. And what we're doing is we're going through a book, The Gate of Trust. It's like a 1,000-year-old book. And it's about learning to see God in your life, how God plays a role in your life, and learning to trust those signs and those synchronicities. They don't use the word signs and synchronicities, but that's how I know it. That's how I can relate to it. It's because, like, oh shit, I know what you're talking about. I see that all the time. Which is like this past that 2.5 month period with 24/7 cents in my bank account. That's when I came across this class, and it's like, this is exactly what I needed in my life right now. Because if there was ever a time where I needed to trust the voice in my head going, you're fine, trust me, I know this is difficult. Here are my messengers. And so I've been using that class as inspiration because it's helping me build that trust with the divine in a way that nobody else can. Why? Because you can trust a Jew. You can trust a Jew because they are not like anybody else. Their faith runs so deeply that you could see it on them. That's why Jews are like a separate people from the rest of the, fuck it, I'll call it uncivilized society. You learn a lot from them. But I got a thing for Jewish women. I believe, not even that I have a Jewish soul, that I have Jewish blood running through my veins. I've asked my family, do we have any Jews in the family? Nobody knows for sure. My grandmother believes that her father was a Jew, was a Moroccan Jew. She's not sure though. And the man's dead, so it's not like we can ask him. I don't know what Morocco has to do with Jews, but that's how it was explained to me. But I just feel that my connection to Judaism and Israel is like so. It's just like, all right, what is it that people aren't telling me? Or what is it that God's trying to tell me? Because I don't know if this is normal. I've been a part of the spiritual awakening community for a long time. I've never seen shit like this before. I am the only person I know going through what I'm going through. Now, you go to any kind of spiritual awakening group, spiritual awakening fucking channel on Facebook, they're all saying the same shit. There's so many people saying the same thing that I'm actually going, this is bullshit. These people are all phony balonies. It's like they're all reading off the same script. Nobody's talking to demons. I love demons. Well, yeah, there is. Yeah, you got the few people who follow the dark side, and they're not even like really spiritual. They're witches who are doing magic. Most of them don't even know what the fuck they're doing. They pretend to, because it's goth, man. I know that's not very nice. I don't know if that's actually true. I'm being judgy. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck. And then you got the love and light. Your angels are protecting you. I have messages from your angels. If you're seeing messages, if you're seeing 555, then what? Then God sent you to this video for a reason. No, motherfucker, you're just looking for fucking hits. Trust me, I know. I did a class in magic. I know how the trigger points work. I know how we market spirituality. My teacher in the chaos in the magic group, she says, my marketing worked. This is how you market. You market using these numbers because people are attracted to it. And yeah, I'm not saying that it's all bullshit because yeah, obviously, spirit, the divine is going here. Use this tactic, and it will draw people in. And there are always things to gain. There's things to gain from all of these things, from all this stuff, but it's just like they got one piece of the puzzle. And don't tell me Satan's bad. Satan is good. Satan's the good guy. Satan was standing up to a dictator because Satan wanted sovereignty. And Satan wasn't punished, by the way. Satan was rewarded. That was God going, you know, good job, my boy. How about this? I'm not going to give you my kingdom, but I'm going to give you a kingdom to build on your own. See what you're capable of. And here, take your followers with you. Good luck out there. The only reason that you think Satan is bad is because somebody told you so. You're actually listening to Satan. Satan is literally doing the propaganda campaign against himself. I'm evil, don't trust me. It's like that thing. You take off the mask God's wearing, and Satan's face is underneath. God has nothing to prove. God literally has nothing to prove. That's why they say, like, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he doesn't exist. Why? That doesn't make any sense. Of course it does. Because if you don't believe in Satan, then you can't believe in God. They come as a package. BFFs. BFF for life. Faux life. They're best friends. And it just happens to be that eventually, like I mean, it's like the Jews say, like the soul is composed of two aspects. You got the adversary, and then you got the light side. You have God, and you have the adversary. Adversary is always going to try to pull you away from the light, and the light's always going to try to pull you away from the adversary. But the adversary's tactic is to tell you how wrong you are. It's like the narcissistic voice. But when it gets to a point that eventually that the two start working together, This I know for a fact because it just got to a point where the shit talker in my head, I realized, yeah, that nigga ain't even just shit talking. What that motherfucker is doing, that's like the drill sergeant. Get up, you fucking pig dog motherfucker. You ain't worth shit. You're just a fucking slimy little fucking loser. Yes. Yes, I am. Hit me again. Spiritual masochism. Fucking love it. What do you listen to? Ross Calls, Cardinal Official, Thrust, Chauclair, Northern Touch. It took me 30 years to find this fucking song. 20 years. I heard it when I was younger. Someone had mixed it into a fucking drum and bass track. And I've never been able to find the song. And then one day... Oh, right, that's right. I was in New Hampshire. And I don't know what the fuck happened. Some reason this song popped up in my head and I started Googling like what I thought were the lyrics and I found it. Well. Oh, Rascals. Rascals. Ain't nobody gonna bang with us. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you and your light side. Fuck you and your dark side. Sprechen ze pinga, por favor. I got motherfuckers over here, some godless motherfuckers over here telling me what I'm doing wrong with my life. I got some fucking godly motherfuckers over here telling me what I'm doing wrong with my life. God and Satan are in my ear going, fuck these motherfuckers. Maybe these niggas need to start looking in the goddamn mirror. It's like my grandmother said, oh, fuck everybody. They're all fighting over you behind your back because they're jealous of how fucking beautiful you are. Oh, everybody wants what I got. Sorry, niggas. You fucked up. Don't be fucking crying at me. Go cry to the gods you replaced me with. Well. Yes. Ain't nobody gonna bang with us. Exactly. Why do you people want to bang with us? Like, who the fuck do you think you're fucking with, bruh? Like, why am I allowing... Let me finish the thought. Why am I allowing motherfuckers, the voices outside my head, to fuck with me and make me start questioning myself? I'll tell you why. Because you gotta question yourself from time to time. I know you don't want to question yourself, and you have absolutely no reason to fucking question yourself, but... Julia Roberts? Juliette Lewis. Can't hardly wait. It's from this movie, Strange Days. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, it's a fucking awesome movie. It's from the 90s. It's, the premise is like, it's almost like the year 2000, I think, something like that. It's like all these doomsday prophecies are coming true, but there's this dude, I think it's Ray Fiennes, I could be wrong, but there's this device that people wear, right? They call it a squid. It's like this little network of diodes that you put on your head, and on a mini disc, it'll record what you're experiencing. It'll record what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're tasting. So what people do is it's like a new form of escapism. So people will wear this device and record their life. but then at the same time they'll sell the discs and people will buy them and experience someone else's life. So for instance, like this one guy, like he's got no legs and he goes to Lenny, the dealer, because it's almost like a drug, it's illegal. So this guy with no legs, he goes to the guy Lenny, the dealer, and what he wants is a video of somebody running on the beach because he doesn't have any legs. So what they do is they'll pay people to have scenarios. But sometimes people do like they do like snuff type of shit where they'll kill somebody or somebody will fucking get killed while wearing the thing so you can experience that. Like, it's fucked up. It gets crazy. It gets wild. It's a good movie. But people get addicted to it because you're experiencing someone else's experience synthetically. It's just like, what? It's a dope movie. But Juliette Lewis is Lenny's ex-girlfriend, and she left him for like this big-time kingpin type of guy. And she performs this song in the movie, but when Lenny goes to meet the kingpin guy, the gangster guy, he sees Juliette Lewis up there, and it's like, it breaks his heart because he's madly in love with her, but she's moved on with this other guy. And he knows it. It's just like, it just bites at it. It's just like, ugh. It's almost like Solo too. If you ever saw the Solo movie, Han Solo movie, which ish. I mean, granted, it wasn't the worst. But if you were to have me rank Star Wars movies, Solo would be at the bottom of the list. And that's including the Ewok movie, which I watched not too long ago. It took me like 3 sessions to get through the fucking thing. I could only watch for like 20-minute clips at a time, and it's just like, ay. But that was good. Ugh. But Solo, like in the beginning, like he's breaking free from the tyrannical city that he lives in, Corellia, right? The Empire's taken over, and he's got to escape. And he was trying to escape with his girlfriend, but his girlfriend gets stuck. Later on in the movie, we find out that she ends up she lived. Not only did she live, but she ended up shacking up with the fucking the head of the Black Sun Empire, the Black Sun. Well, he was the figurehead. Darth Maul was, spoiler, Darth Maul was running the Black Sun at the time, but or is Darth Maul Rey Fiennes? I don't know. Dark Side of the Force? Yeah. The Dark Side of the Force is a pathway to a whole bunch of abilities that some would consider to be unnatural. This is a fact. It's facts. I studied the Dark Side of the Force. Listen, I haven't mastered fucking telepathy. I don't have a teacher. I believe I'm going to learn it one day. I've been wanting to learn telekinesis since I was a teenager, maybe younger. I used to have a bunch of books, but nothing ever really... I've always been obsessed with like psychic abilities. Something always told me that I was gifted in it, and that as I grew older, those powers would develop on their own, and it was true. Claircognizance is typically the one that I'm most familiar with. Clairvoyance also. But the clairvoyance, which one's clairvoyance? Clairvoyance is like the one where you can see things You don't know how that. Well, claircognizance, that's knowing something without knowing how you know it. You just know it. Clairvoyance is being able to see things in the world without actually seeing it. Like, I get that. That's a weird one. Clairvoyance. Because what ends up happening is, like, I'll get this idea, right? Something will just come to me, and I'm looking for. It's like, okay, go look for this book. What? All right, let me just follow through. I go look for the book, but it's like, look in this very specific spot. And I'll go to this specific spot, and I won't find what it is that I'm looking for, but I'll find something else. I'm like, holy shit, I needed that. It's like this thing that I thought I needed directed me to find the thing that I actually needed. Another good point, another good example of that is like when I first started down the occult and spiritual path, the word intuition kept on coming up. And I have always been a very intuitive person. Like, I've always been able to, like, see things before they happen, but usually, like, very quickly. And I was always kind of, like, on the fence, like, did that really just happen, or is this just my mind playing tricks on me? Obviously, it happened, but because I saw it before it happened. But why? Where is that coming from? So, in early 2018, when I decided to, like, all right, let's embrace this. Let's see what happens. Because all of this that's going on right now in my life, all of this is based on an experiment to see what happens if I just follow my intuition, let my intuition guide me in my life. Because I not that I always thought it, I always, like I said, I questioned it. Did that really happen or did it not? I'm the type of person I like to dip my toes in the water before I go in. So what would happen a lot of the times is like, so what I challenge myself with, like, anytime something comes up, do it. And it started off with feeling like I needed to go to the bookstore. And I'm like, all right, you know what? It's like, I feel like I go to the bookstore. Like, something's telling me that I'm gonna find something I need there, and I would go. And again, like, a good example, right? I was watching this dude. Shit, I can't believe I forgot his name. Passio, Mark Passio. Shortly after becoming interested in the occult, like, a lot of this stuff just started falling in my lap. I would just randomly find this video that of this guy who's just saying everything that I wanted to know. It's synchronicity, I know. But first came the occult, then came spirituality. So I come from, like, a different school than a lot of people. I've always been, like, a conspiracy person. Very heavy into conspiracy theories. Because I recognize that you don't know what you don't know. My father put it to me best once. He goes, I'm not a religious man, but be careful whose name you take in vain because you don't know who's listening. Exactly. You don't know what you don't know. But being so heavily invested in conspiracy theories. Behold a Pale Horse? Yeah. It's one of my favorite books. William Gibson. Art Bell. Yeah, no, I'm all there. And Alex Jones. I've been on Alex Jones since early 2000. I've watched almost all of his documentaries. And listen, people talk shit on Alex Jones, but you go back to that guy's work, get the fuck out of here. People shit on that guy, and yeah, he's over the top, but that's... Listen, sometimes tapping people on the shoulder and telling them some shit, like, they're not gonna listen. Sometimes you gotta fucking bash someone in the head with a goddamn hammer. But my thing was, you don't know what you don't know. And at least he's offering a different perspective. I mean, it's intellectually lazy to say, like, no, that's all bullshit. How do you know? How the fuck do you know, man? And like he said, like he has no problem saying. I mean, it's been years since I listened to him, so I don't know if he's still. I don't even know if Alex Jones is still around. But even like he's known to say, he's like, hey, things I say come true. He's not wrong. Like, the things he says come to pass. Like, he knows his shit. There's a reason why people take him seriously. Somebody takes him seriously. Listen, if people didn't take Alex Jones seriously, you wouldn't know who I'm talking about. Believe that. Crazy conspiracy theories. Nigga, you gotta be careful calling people names and shit. Imagine what they call you. What do you mean? What do they call me? A fucking sheep, man. You keep listening to what you see on the fucking TV, you're gonna go exactly where the TV wants you to go. Where's it? What? What? Yeah, exactly. Just don't think about it too much. You're doing fine. You give yourself a pat on the back, big boy, for being a free thinker. Just like the atheist crowd. I'm a free thinker. Are you? Are you? Because all the science that you're spouting at me, did you find that out, or did somebody tell you about it? That's my favorite thing about scientism. The scientismists, they sound just like religionists. My way's the right way. As a guy once, I was like, could you prove to me? Where's the proof in God? I should give you proof of God when you can give me proof that the earth goes around the sun. How about that there, big boy? There's a lot of experiments that you can do. Did you ever do any of them? No? I don't have to. Why? Why? Because you just put faith? I don't have faith. I don't believe. What? You listen to yourself, man. Just like the Republican-Democrat debate. You know you're saying the same thing that guy is, right? I'm for freedom! So is he. You both want to be free. I wonder what Christians think about the fact that there's 45,000 denominations of Christianity and each one thinks that they're right. Because they're all the same thing, you dipshit. They don't even... It's like, there's 5 people living in my house, and each one thinks that the sun comes up, and they all think that they're right. The sun comes up in the east. Yeah, you know what? There's somewhere in the world right now. You know what time the sun rose today? The sun rose at 6:43. Did you know that at the same time, there's somebody in the fucking world, the sun came up at 5:43? Because not everyone follows daylight savings time. Whoa! And they both think that they're right. What kind of fucking jerk-offs are these? Fucking idiots. Did you know that there's some of us in the world who believe that there's 12 hours of daylight every single day? What? That's impossible. No, it's not. It's not impossible when you recognize that the length of an hour isn't static. That it's fluid. That's stupid. Yeah, so is having 10 hours of daylight. When you're dealing with 10 hours of daylight, I'm dealing with 12, so I got 2 extra hours during my day. Says my hour's a little bit shorter. What? It's a Jew thing. Well, it's not. Well, no, it's not just a Jew thing. It's not just a Jew thing. It's an Israelite thing. called relative hours. The length of an hour is relative to the position of the sun around the Earth. The fucking sun starts to go around the Earth. The Earth's not flat. I didn't say the Earth was flat. It's not flat anymore. It rounded itself out over its evolution. The Earth was never flat. Of course it was. The whole solar system started out as a flat disk of gas and dust and stardust. And then it rounded out. Things separated, they expanded, and they rounded themselves out. Man. What is it? 20? What? I don't know. I'm just... I'm just thinking about how my life is about to, like, just go off and... Yeah, I know. The future is always in motion. Like, you can't tell the future, but you can tell the future by considering as many different variances of the future that you can. And granted, mind you, what is that called? What's it called, seeing the future? Precognition? It's not always an exact science. I mean, I can tell you that the sun is going to go down at 7:43 today. 7:49? Based on my geographical positioning. But I know I'm going to wake up in the morning. You don't know that. You're right, I don't know it, but I know I'm going to wake up in the morning. I know I could drop dead any minute, but I know I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I know I'm going to wake up the day after. You don't really know that. I do too. How do you know? What if you get killed on the way home? That could happen. But I'm going to wake up tomorrow. Listen, sometimes you got to believe in order to see. If you can't believe it, you're not going to see it. Oh my God. I'm seeing a vision of me hanging out with Alex Jones. And MIA. I could be because MIA is playing right now. Paper Airplanes. I like MIA. People.